Hi, my name is Daniele Di Pisa and I will show you CasCADos. CasCADos is a BIM software. Let me open this picture. Picture is made by CasCADos. I show you this picture because it's this kind of BIM. It's one of the maybe it's the first BIM that start using the real-time rendering. If we will open the plan that we see in this picture, what it will happen that in 30-40 seconds, so in 1 minute, the program will calculate the shadows. And if you rotate this environment, you will see that the shadow will be projected on the ground. But the reflection, it will be recalculated in real time when you stop to move the environment, and it's in real time. Anyway, now we start to see the program. We said CasCADos is a BIM. A BIM is a kind of software born for saving time in the planning of the architectural plan in 2D and 3D. BIM in fact means building information modeling, and this means also that you can export or import the plan for other software, for example for static, and the file format to use it is the IFC format when you import and when you export. The program, it's easy. This CasCADos, if we must we should resume in some words, we can say it's a BIM, it's an easy BIM software, and you will see it why I say this. The program is switched in 5 working mode. The construction mode is this one, and you have the two like the walls, the windows, the doors, the stairs, the roof. So you make you build, so you make the construction. Then you have the 3D where you change effect the 3D. The ground mode is where you can plan the ground, you can change the shape, you can also put height, you can also draw path, fence, so you can do the landscape. And the 2D view, it's a part of the software where you can see all view in 2D. I mean, for example, the floor plan, so the top view, the side view, the front view, the section, so all view in 2D. And at the last mode, there is the plan mode. In the plan mode, you will import and manage import. You can open and manage any view that you have done in 2D view. We will see this part, we will see all mode during this presentation. Now we start. I click the wall just to say the last things that in this side of the program, under the menu, this is the classical menu, file, edit, view, and so on. When you click a tool like the walls, under the menu it will appear some information about this wall. For example, here you have the input way, for example a poly wall we will do. You have also this container, white container, for example the catalog where you can save a new element, the construction, this is properties, but you have also the timber construction if you want, and so on. If you click the windows, you have the same in the same position. You have information about the window, for example how to input some properties, basic properties, the catalog, and so on. Now we draw. We close. First I hide the grid and the snap to the grid, and I start working. I click somewhere and you see the program is starting working from the axis, or if I click again, the W is the key on the keyboard. when I click this button W, you see I switch from the reference point of the beginning point. But if you look at the keyboard, you see on the left or the W key you have the Q. The Q changed the beginning point. And if you click in the keyboard the E like end, you change the end of the wall. Anyway, I use the W, I will change the beginning and the end point, it will be the same. And this is, it will be our reference for the dimension. Now I push the button, the key tabulator on the keyboard, and you see the cursor is going inside this small label that follow the mouse cursor. Here I say 1200 centimeters, so 12 meters, and I confirm my dimension. The next wall, it will be 10 meters, just to see that there is also the degrees. If you want to, if you put a positive or a negative dimension, it will change direction. Anyway, I don't need to type the degrees, because you see when I use the mouse it's automatic. In this situation I would like to do just orthogonal walls. Anyway, continuing, the next wall it will be 5 meters, and the next wall it will be 7 meters. You see when I move the mouse, the program fill the direction, and in fact I don't need to type the last walls. Then I click the last wall, I click escape, or if you want you can also click the right button and say set element complete, and the program will understand that you have finished. Sorry, I would. Anyway, here I click, I put another wall, and then we will see why. Okay, inside the room I put another wall, and if I change the thickness, you see one side the axis is not moving, it is growing on the left and the right side, because now I give back the same dimension. Here in this drop box menu there is a wall axis should be not moved. Now I will say to don't move the interior side, and I will change the thickness in 20 centimeters. So you can control which part should not move. Then back. This is our walls. You see the program automatically made the ground story when we start to working. Here on the stories menu, or here also on the right side you have the stories manager and the layer manager. So the program has done automatically a story, and if I go, for example, in the story menu and I say edit the active story, you see the dialog box where you can see all dimension of all properties with the dimension of this floor, of this story. You see you have the ground height, the elevation point, this is the height from the ground, the flooring, the thickness, and so on. So if you change the height of the floor of the story, you will change all walls. This is the reason I draw outside another wall, because I would like to show you how to change one singular wall. So I click construction, and this is properties of the walls, and I check this box, change wall elevation. On the top elevation on the left side, so in this point on the left, this is the right side, but I will change the left. I said go down degrees of 1 meters, so it's gone down of 1 meters. And at the bottom side, this is the left point and this is the right point, I will say to the right, grow up of 1 meter and 50, and the program will change this 8. So you can control on the top the left point and the right point of the wall, and on the bottom the left point and the right point. 8. We go to the, we see also this part, the tab wall construction. Here you can also make new layers. I create a new layer, I say insert, and this wall layer, I will change the description, I say insulation. You can type what you want, ABC insulation for example, and I change the thickness. Then I say 10 centimeter. This is you see, this is the insulation etching, and so on. And I will move this new layer with this arrow outside or inside, and so you can control the position of your new layer. You can create how many layers you want, 5, 6, what you want. So in this way you can manage the 2D views, but also of course you have a 3D result. Now we will change the depth, so the thickness of the complete wall, of the full wall. I will say that at the beginning it will be 30 centimeter here. At the end here it should finish with 1 meter and 20 centimeters. So we have done a trapezoidal walls. Now I delete this wall and we will go back. We go back in construction mode. We click the Windows tools, click the catalog. You see here there is a catalog with the elements. Then I decide to use to import the window from a point with a specific distance. I click. I can remember the W key. I can say this reference is from the last point, the first point of the axis point. Anyway, I say from the beginning point. I click and I will decide which distance. If you click your element in 2D but also in 3D, it will appear some dimension. Here, for example, I will change the distance. So you simply click a dimension and automatically you can change it. We said at the beginning that when you are drawing or you select also an element, on this bar under the menu you have some basic information of this element. In fact, if I change the height of our windows here or here, it has no difference. So I will say 1 meter and 60. For example, I will change the parapet 8 here or here, I will say 80 centimeter, and you will see the result. Now I would like to show you some details about our tool windows. In this button construction unit you have many details. For example, this is the frames. We decide to create outside or inside a frame. You see, I change the thickness and you will see a result in real time. You can also control the left, the right, the bottom or above a point of a part of this frame. For example, above I say that this dimension should change. Now I hide the frame. We will see the window sills. And here is the same. You can control the dimension inside or outside. And I change the left point of these sills. You see, when I change this dimension, I will see a result in 3D. Here, left side sometimes is the opposite side. The left is from outside from inside to outside. This is the reason we see that the left is right. It's a 3D software, you can rotate and you have a different. Anyway, this is the slope, the degrees of the slope of our sills, and you can also control these details. I will say 3 degrees is okay. This is for the water dropping. Anyway, I would like to show you that in this dialog box you can also make the shutter box. You can decide to put inside, outside, which distance. You can also use a shape. You can draw your shape and put inside. So you can control also the position and the shape of your roller shutter box. Now when we see the shutters, we can say make the shutters. The opening should be sliding, for example, and I can move. If you rotate, if you click here, you see also animation. And it could be sliding, folding, you see, or hinged, so the classical. And for example, here I would like to say that on the right side I would like to have 2 elements. So if we change, okay, you see, now we have 2 elements, so I can say 3 elements. So the point for the programmer, for the developer, is to make an easy software. And this is the reason you have many features like that, and you can control in a parametrical way, because the planner should be faster planning and to get his result. But don't leave some limitation. The program as the developer has things talk to give more possibility. For example, here you can decide to have a jealousy, and you can control in a parametrical way the dimension of these elements of the jealousy, or you can also decide to use a 3D object. In fact, in the program we put this 16 series of elements, and these are simple 3D objects. This means that the planner can model his own element and put inside, and the program we will use it, so it can customize the program, we can say. Now we will put this element. I turn it off the frame. This is the frame if you want to plan in a parametrical way your shutter. Otherwise, using the object, it has no sense. So I change the thickness. This is much more realistic, and the program has replaced the element with the 3D object. So you are customizing your plan. Now I do one. I would like also to show you that you can control the position. This is the distance between the windows. I will say 0 centimeters. You can also say that above and the left side and so on, it can grow up. So you can control how to make your shutters. Now I hide the shutters, and we go in the general settings. And here I will click the advanced editing, and you see this tool will appear. I will enlarge the windows. Here you can make a new windows or a new door. If you decide to save it as a door, it will be a door. If you decide to save it as a window, it will be a windows. Or a roof windows. This is the same tools. Here you can select shape. This shape is not real shape, it's a window element. For example, this is an arc. If you click the element on the right side, you have some property. For example, I will say that here I would like to have an arc. Also here I can change the dimension. You can also mirror. Anyway, here with this element, I would like to add a new rectangle. For the dimension, I just control that when I draw to respect this existing dimension. But here I will put a new dimension. I click the dimension. I can change the description. I say W, for example, white. And I will change I will type the dimension that must have 90 centimeters. But you see, this was a double windows, and now there is on the side by side, a new element, and here we should delete one part of the frame. So we go in Windows Framing. On the right side of the existing element, I will say don't create on the right, and in this element I will say don't create on the left, so I click none. Now it's a complete new window with 3 elements. You can also control some property. For example, in general wings, you can say that you want a different kind of animation of opening, and if you look in 3D, you can see the new type of opening. For example, I can say vertical and sliding, or horizontal. Where is horizontal sliding? So you can control how to make it. Or you can say hooper, or I can do a mix, hinged and hooper. And now you will see both animation, because this is a combination. Of course, you can also mirror the animation, the opening. Anyway, if you click ranks, just to see other details, you can say make ranks, and it's automatic. For example, these are the horizontal ranks, and here you can say make it with a distance of 10 centimeters, and the program will arrange the element. Or you can say put 3 elements horizontal, and in vertical create 2 vertical elements, and so on. Now I hide this element, but this Windows is show also the tab door and window. We said if you decide to save it as a door, it will be a door, and if you save it as a window, it will be a window. So what's the difference? The difference is only that the developer thought to give you more possibilities. For example, this element give you the possibility to, in a simple way, to divide your element, door, windows, what is it, in more lines. For example, I say make 4 lines, now are 4, before were 3, was 3, and now we say that the line number 1 is the first, here. We will switch in 3 elements, and the middle element, the second, will be in glasses, and you see this is the result. You can also say inside, just turning on features, that you must use an object like before with the shutters, so you have not the limitation to use the element that the program make. You can use 3D objects that you can make it. So you have not limitation in this way. For example, I go in this button construction, in this tab construction unit, and I will use a 3D object not like a wings but like a handle. It's the same way to working. So I will go to select. This is a anti-panic handle. I can put a reference point with the coordinate, so you can put in a exactly position, but in this example I just put in the middle of the window. And you see the program here put the element in the opposite side. So I click the element. Here it will appear this information. You have the dimension, the rotation, and the moving on the 3 axes, X, Y, Z. You see here in the Z, this is wrong rotated, so I say 0 degrees and I rotate it. About the dimension, here I will change the X axis, so I enlarge the element. And I can also move in the same axis, in one direction or in another direction. The program, when we change the dimension, has attached the element on the external side of the windows. But if we reduce this dimension, it will go on the glass if it is smaller. So this is automatic, and the program is this software is full of automatic feature. I said it because you can know more about the program. Anyway, I confirm it. We made our elements. Now we will come back in 2D, and we will not use the doors, but we will make an opening. We make an opening in the middle. I decide to have an arc, and I center, so in our wall. I go back, 3D, I click our openings. You can change dimension here or simply here. I say 2.50 meters from the floor 0, and let me walk. And if we click construction unit, you see here this is the same windows as for that we used it for the windows before, and for the doors we said. So you can make window sill, you can make shutters, but you can also say to the program, if you click advanced editing, to make a new element. And here it's where we made our windows. But in the last tab, recess, you can just select a shape for cutting a wall. In the 3D you don't see nothing, but you have this possibility just to cut the element. And there is a feature that it's interesting to see. If you check as recess and you change the thickness, you can have also this effect. This is very useful under the windows when you must put the heating element. Anyway, I will uncheck because I want to cut the full wall. I will change the materials. This is the materials catalog. I will put a new pictures. This is a picture, we said. We open a square. We say something about the material, but we will come back later. I just say that if you want to change a material, there is a button. If you click, for example, our floor, you can change the dimension of your picture. You can rotate in one axis, for example 0 degrees. You see, you can rotate, and you can move it in one axis and in the other. Now I say cancel. So you can control how to map your picture in the software. Coming back in 2D. Now we see the stairs. I click the button and I select or here or here which kind of stair to do. There is the L stair with the landing, without landing, U and so on, and free stair and so on. This is a L stairs. I draw it. I don't care in this moment about the dimension, and you will understand why when we will change it, the dimension. Okay, we click our stairs. This is the staircase dialog box, and you can decide how to build your stairs. In wood, in concrete with under wall, or just the steps, only the steps. I decide to do in concrete, like this, and I turn off the right rails, and here we start to change the properties. You see, this is the dimension that you can change it when you draw it in 2D. I don't care about this because now we will change it. It's interesting that you can control the height of the first segment of the stairs or the second. We change the first. We say that the first staircase segment is 90 centimeters. Then if you uncheck automatic, the program allows us to change all parameters. I don't care about this, but I would like to show you this checkbox, fix beginning and fix the end. We uncheck the fix ending. It means, because we leave fix beginning, we leave check it, it means that now when we will change the number of the steps of the risers, is the same things. You see, the first segment of the staircase, it will not move because it's fixed, but it will move the rest, the ending. In fact, changing the number of the steps, you have a 3D result. The program will continue to recalculate all parameters. For example, if you look the riser is the 8 of the step. You see it is changing. This is the real value. When I change it, you see a difference. But you can also recalculate the stairs and customize your stairs, changing the other parameters. This is the reason sometimes you hear this kind of software is parametrical software. It means this, that you change the parameters. For example, the length of the stair is called tread depth. I will say 30 centimeters, and you see has been recalculated. The number of steps is the same, but you have a different in the calculation. So you can change the tread depth. This is the formula 2R plus T. It means 2 times the rise plus the tread, and this is the result. This is very important to control for architectural rule, following architectural rule, your stairs. Anyway, and this is of course the riser 8. Here there is also other checkbox. If I uncheck this one, it means here you can define the elevation point where start your staircase. In this situation, it's on the floor, so I leave 0. I don't uncheck it. And this is where to arrive. This is the top elevation. In fact, if I change this dimension, this 8, the floor, the stair overhang this floor. But I say go to the top elevation, so it will arrive to the next story. Anyway, this is the rule that any stairs follow. So you just change the parameters. But the stairs has also other situation. For example, we make a spiral stairs. We will put inside the room. Okay, now we go in 3D to see what is happening. Okay, like before, we can change about the staircase, how the structure of the stairs. I can say that is in concrete, under the walls, or just the step. I say in concrete and not in wood. The first it's in wood. Okay. Then there is the starting angles. It means that if you change this value, you can rotate it. I will say that we start from the angle 0. Here is a landing. It could be rounded as it wrote here. This is the degrees of the rounding. I can say 45 degrees, for example, but we don't need it. We turn off the landing. And this is the revolution of the stairs. For example, if we say 180 degrees, sorry, 180 degrees, if you have a negative value, you invert the revolution. If you have a positive value, you have the inverted, of course, revolution. This is the angles of the stairs, that the revolution of the stairs. So if we say 360 degrees, you see, you have a round angles, a full round angles. Otherwise, you can have less or more. For example, we will say rotate for 700 degrees. But you see, if we don't change the 8, it will be it will not change. The program understand that all parameters are important for the 3D construction. So we are changing the top elevation, and you see now the result is much more better than before. But we arrive to the next story, and we will do a revolution of 280 degrees, for example. Anyway, you can continue to change the other parameters and so on. This is the same like the other kind of stairs. Here I would like to show you just some feature. For example, that the railing on the left, I would like to have a column. This is the diameter of the column. Or I will decide to have a stringer also outside. And this is the distance between the element, I will say, I don't know, 20 centimeters, for example. So you can control in a parametrical way all elements of your stairs. And of course, you can change the material as we have done before for the walls and so on. Coming back to the stairs, we decide to make another kind of stairs. This is a free stairs. Common staircase it's called. It's a polygonal stairs. We are drawing. For example, this is one example. I click escape to finish. We go in 3D. Okay. We decide to have stairs in concrete with underwall, and I would like to show you that the same parameters of the other stairs you have, so you can change the number of riser and so on. But also this is like a polyline, but is a poly stair, we can say. So we draw some segment The first segment is the first staircase side, then there is the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. We have 5 segments. We select the second, that is this one, and if you check this box, you are doing a spiral at the beginning of this landing. But I would like that this segment become a landing. So I will say the same for the third. For the fourth, we will say become a landing, and so on. So we changed the geometry of our stairs just to do that. There is another possibility. I will show you here. For example, the stairs, when you draw stairs, you can also click and say detail. If you check this box, staircase polygon can be editable, you can move and change the polygon of your stairs, but you can also change the work line or the step edge. I will change the step edge. For example, I move the mouse here, I click the right mouse button, and I will say to move this edge of the step. I will do the same with this one. On the edge, I will say move, but now we decide to move this, and you see we have done a 3D result. There are other kind of stairs you can also draw. I will do it very fast with this universal staircase. And you see, I start to drawing the polygon. It could be a free working like this. Then I click escape. The program understand that I finished to draw the left in this situation, the left outline of our stairs. I do the next. Example like this, like this, like this, like this. Then I click the last, I click escape, the program understands that I finish. And now the direction. And then I confirm, clicking again escape. You see, we have created a totally different shape of the stairs. And the program follows always the same rule. You see, you can change the parameters, the number of the stairs, you can edit, and so on. So it's another way to make the stairs. Now I delete it, and we come back in 2D. Here I would like to make a slabs. Okay. Go here, I decide to draw a polygon, 1.50 m. Like this, it's enough. Okay. And I would like to divide the screen in 2 sides. I would like to show you what we are doing. Okay, this is our slab. We select the slab, and if I click the right mouse button and I click insert elevation point, we can define the elevation point of our slab. So I put some point here, 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 and here, and then I start to change this value. I will start with this internal point, with this angle. I will say that here the height is 1.50 meters. Here I will say the same, 1.50 meters. In this angle I will say the same, 1.50 m, 1.50 m, you see. And the last, I will say 1.80 m. And here, also here, moment I click, 1.80 m. You see, we have, or I can say 2 meters, is more visible, so I say 2 meters. You see, we have changed the height of some vertex of our slabs. Now we will do a railing. Okay, I select the railing, a polyline. I will start from here to here, first here, 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 here. Then I click escape and I confirm. I will split again the screen one dialog in one window, because this part I can show you directly in 3D. Here I click our railing. From the catalog I can change it. For example, you can manage any point of the railing. For example, you can say create a post. The dimension of the post is 80 for 80. You can be round, for example, I say 5 for 5. You can create the handrail. It could be round, square. You can create this filling is the middle. You can say create the borders. You see that is the frame, the borders, the attachment, horizontal, vertical, and so on. Anyway, about this railing, we draw it some vertex. I will change the 8. I will say that the first point is this is 0. The second should arrive at 1.50 m, I think. Yes, should be. The next it will be 1.50 m. The next 1.50 m. And the last 2 meters. So in a simple way we have controlled. Here I can also select with the wall element, but I can also do it here. I show you. So we change first here. We put outside. This is the distance, and this is for making the feet like for the wall. Now we will see it better. Before to change it, we check the dimension first. We say 4 cm for 4 cm, and we can have, as you can see here, some options. For example, the position, I will say to follow the segment or to be equidistant. It means it will go not in this side, not in the other side. So just simply change it. This, for example, move and so on. So you can control all parts, and you can save it in the program. Your new element, can be saved in the catalog. Anyway, come back in construction mode. First we go there, okay, and now we plan a roof. We click the button roof. From the catalog I just select this kind of roof tiles. And here you can have automatic roof or manual roof. Just the shape, it's manual. I show you this because it's much easier to understand how it works. You draw a polygon and you see there is not the roof for 2 slope, 3 U as a U shape. So you draw your polygon, You click escape when you finish, and the program understands you have drawn. You draw your polygon, and this is the polygon that we have drawn. So we go in 3D, and you see this is our plan. How it works, the roof. We draw the polygon, we said, and we select a side of the polygon, and here you decide what to do. Now there is a simple slope. We decide to have a double slope, it's called mansard. You can change, I don't know, some value. This is the degrees, as you can see, and you see in real time what is happening. Or you can say, okay, I would like to have more slope, I would like to have fourth slope. That fourth slope should have another slope, I don't know, I say 30 degrees for example, and you see it. You can decide that is round, or you can decide to have a gable. It means you delete your slope. For example, in this side we do the same. We delete the slope because we would like to have a gable. Gable means that you have the wall under the roof, that it will be cut. In the internal side of this kind of roof, we decide that here we would like to have a normal slope. The overhang or overlap is 2 meters. The height of the slope on the small wall is 1.50 meters, and the degrees of the slope is 30 degrees. I will copy this property. I will do the same in the behind the slope. I will say 2 meters as overlap, 1.50 meters is the height on the wall, and this is the slope degrees. But you see, there is one new story that we haven't created. When we start working, we create just the ground story. In fact, here it is appear the attic story. This has been done by the roof. There is an option that is active. It's a standard option that has created the new story, the attic, copying the wall of the ground floor. In fact, now we have a new story, but it's too small. We have to change it. So we go to Edit Active Story, which change this 8, I will say, I don't know, 3 meters, for example. Say OK, and now it's correct. If we click this button on the bottom of the program, Timber Construction, we can say show exclusively just the timber construction. Okay, now we will see there are this kind of bin is called rafter. We have the rafter. We say to the program that the distance with the rafter it should be 60 centimeters, for example, and we can also say to the program to create inferior purlins, but this could be controlled directly on the wall, so we will do it later. But I would like to show you that you can create middle purlin, and I say from the highest point of the roof, I say go down on 1.50 meters. You see, this is an 8 from the ridge, from the highest point of the story. I say go down, and I will do the same with the color bin. I say at the same position, this is an 8 from the higher point, so this is the reason is negative. I will put the color beams. Now I hide, we don't need. The ridge purlin is this. I would like to put a purlin on the wall. I would like to show you this feature. I go back to the roof. In the roof dialog, I will go in roof side. I select this side and I will click timber construction, and here I will say that from the floor at what is 1 meter and 50, 1 meter and 50, I will put inferior purlin, and I will do the same here. 1 meter and 50 from the floor, and here I will say 1 meter, this 8. I will say 1 meters and 1 meters in this side. Anyway, now we can say to the program to show us all plan, and we will look also the rest with the wood construction. But about the wood construction, I would like to say, about the wood construction, I would like also say that there is the possibility to have it in automatic also in the wall. So I go to timber construction, I selected the wall, and I click this checkbox. Here we have all timber section, and now we will see it. First we must show it. You see, I will change also the height of these windows, I say, because I would like to show you that here it has been created automatically also the beam. About the wall, we reselect, we go again to the timber construction. You see, you can show, so make it or not, and here you can change the dimension of the stud. I can do 8 for 8 centimeters, and this is for all element of the wood construction. This is just a possibility, so it means that if you, for example, put another dimension and you want to make it like a concrete post, you change the material and you change the distance. For example, I will say 1 meters, and you see there is this distance. So the planner can use this automatic feature for the concrete planning. It's a possibility, of course. The program has the possibility to draw manually the post. It's a tool. It's here. You see, you have the post, the girder. You have also extrusion beams. You can do your free drawing. The program will do it. But coming back to our plan, I decide to put a dormer. I put a simple dormer here, for example, and I turn on also in this view the timber construction. I would like to show you the roof windows, or you can also call sky windows, and I put in the middle. You see, the program has automatically delete the wood construction, cut it, not delete, sorry, and it has created the wood element as a support of the rafter that we have cut. The same is here where we have done the dormers. Now we show again the rest. I copy the material, okay, and I would like to show you a very simple and easy rendering and I would like to put our plan inside a picture. So we go to this button, we click this button, is the background button. You can have the singular color like now, double, or you can select a picture. We select a picture. For example, this one, these pictures are inside the program, are standard, but you can, the planner normally put his own picture in the building site. Anyway, we say okay, and the picture is on the background, so we can rotate and the picture stay on the background. We can also click this button, display shadows, and CasCADos has calculated the shadow in our plan. But now I would like to show you a feature that the program has, and the feature is this. We have this background brush. If I click our ground, before clicking I tell you something. This is a 3D geometry, the background. In fact, we have the shadow on our background because it's a flat shape. It's a 3D element. It could be also different. It could be a hill, for example, a mountain. It doesn't matter. In this moment we have a flat ground. When I go to take this background brush and I click, what happens? The program pastes the picture on the 3D ground that is flat. I will show you better what happens. If I change perspective, we go in this kind of view and I click again, I paste again in our ground the picture of the background, and you see the background has been attached, mapped on the ground, and the house produces a shadow on the ground, and you see it. It has no realistic sense, but is what happens. It's like a video projector, we can say. So we just go in 3D, we find the right position, we can go page up, page down are the key. You can click the arrow on the left, on the right. You can use your mouse pointer as a navigator, as a target. Anyway, we find a position, then I click, and you see the house is there. To see better the shadow, I will change, or I go back, I change the position of the north, I rotate it, or simply I can go on the sun, I click and I will move the sun. It's the same. I try again. I do okay. No, in the opposite direction I go. Refresh again. Okay, I leave it like this. You can move it again. Anyway, you can also select the timing where you are. Can say, for example, where you are, in which date, but I should change again the background, because you have a background for any light. In the night mode you can have a picture, in the custom view like this you can have a picture, or in the day you can have another picture. So I do it again in this way, but I prefer to go back in our view. So anyway, I would like to also show you that you have the possibility to put person. These are 3D bitmap. No, this one. Pictures. This one. Kids. can have trees. Put here. Then we update the light, and you have it. You can have also 3D objects like tree, for example, flower. For example, I bring this element, these are 3D. It's much faster to go in 3D, but it's very small. Okay, I take a bigger flower or tree. For example, this is for the apartment. We can get one element like this. This is a little bit bigger. Okay. Or we can click. We can also just click on the catalog, and you can do an experiment. You see, it has been replaced. Anyway, we update the shadows, and we have the updated calculation. And now I will show you how to manage the ground. We will see the ground mode. First, I delete this element we don't need. I will replace the material of the ground with the normal ground. For example, I put this. Then I will hide the background we don't need. And now we go in the ground mode. First I hide the automatic ground because we would like to make our customized ground. We decide that the thickness of the ground is 1 meter, and we have another layer of this ground 30 centimeters. We go in ground mode. We select ground story, and we make a simple rectangle ground here. Okay, then I hide the wood construction, then I decide to create an area inside the ground. I simulate a path that go to the garage, and suppose that the garage is underground, not on the ground, so we must change the elevation point. First, moment, come back to the ground. I think this is under. I go in foreground. Okay, then I change the material. I will use for example stones. Can use this. Okay, perfect. So we decide that this path should go on the background, on the underground. So we come back in the ground mode. Here you have the button for the elevation point. We will use the polyline elevation point. We click the first point, the second, here the third point, then here the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth point. I could close the polygon, but I will not do it because I can avoid to put 1 point more, and here in the features I will say close the polygon, the polyline, so it become a polygon. Now we will change the dimension, the elevation point in 3D. First I will go in the view menu, I will say show the ground shape, and here we select the first point, it was this. The second point is this. This is the order as we have we made the draw. This polyline now is a polygon. It's closed. It's become a closed polygon, but it could be open. For this reason, here is this dialog box say there is an 8, base 8, that is this one, and the second 8, it should be on the right side of the polyline. So this is the direction, the right side is inside. So we can say inside you go down of 3 meters. This is the meaning of this dialog box. The second point is this. We can say that on the right side it should go down of 1 meter and 50. The third point is this. We don't change it. The fourth, we don't change it. The fifth point, we will change it. We say go down of 1 meter and 50. And the last point, we say go down of 3 meters. So we simply change the dimension, and this is the result. About the texture, it's simple to do this. This is the 8. Look, if I go in that side, the texture, it will be the ground, because this to this element, the area is inside. But if we move the 8 in this way, for example, I put here. Normally you don't need to do this, but sometimes it's much better to do it. You see, it go inside. Anyway, here there is a texture problem. Okay, now it's better. Now we will add other new element, other new elevation point. So this is our ground. We will put the singular elevation point. We say that here is 3 meters. Here it's 0. Here it's 0, 0, 3 meters. I can say that here is 2 meters and 50. This is 2 meters and 50. This is 2 meters, and so on. So there are some points that decide singular the elevation point, you see. And we have also our polyline that is become a polygon that we close the elevation point of our path to the garage. Coming back to the construction mode, we will see the section point, the section tool. Here we will draw a singular section. The section could be done in a shadowing way, so it will be a color section. We say to hide the ground. Okay, this line we can delete it. Hide, not deleting. For example, I can decide to hide the sign point. Okay, then you can also yeah, I think what is this? I think this is I think the direction of north. I can hide it. Anyway, I say update. In this way the calculation the view has been recalculated. In this part of the program, the 2D view mode, you can have how many 2D view mode you want. You can have the front side, the right side, the left side, and so on. The project view is the floor plan, the top view is. Or you can also have the 3D view or the isometric view. I select to have the isometric view. It's like a perspective view, similar. We can say to have the color in this way, or again you can have it in white mode. I hide shape, or in another way like this shading mode and so on. We said you can delete some line. For example, we don't need this triangulation of the ground, also the triangulation here, and so on. And we can continue. You can update the line there, of course. So yeah, okay, now it's better. Anyway, we said we can have also the 3D view here, but before I show you how to do a better rendering. We go here. I would like to hide some layer. This is like in AutoCAD. We say to hide the ground layer. Let me change it. I say selected. This is the ground. I will hide. Okay. Construction. Okay. Now I will turn off some floor, some story. I will say to the program to show us just the active floor, the story. So we have just the ground story, and we go inside. Okay, I delete this tail, we don't need. This is the catalog we have seen before with the tree, for example. You see, you can select some element. For example, we go down. I can put one simple trees. I move. I put here. I use other element. I will go on this catalog. This library are on the program. You see, when I leave an object, it fall down. With control I can change the direction. I can go up and down. I click control and don't leave out. It's all down the button. When I leave, if I leave and I move with the mouse, it will go in the same direction. So it will be on the space. Here, if you select an element, you can rotate. Here you can go in size and position. This is all X, Y, Z for the rotation. This is the dimension, and this is the position. But we said we can have also the position with the interactive the interactive dimension. I will put here, I will use the mouse in 2D, it's much faster. I will put here, I rotate. It's only so far, we don't need to use perfect angles and so on. Okay, now we will change the view. We will go, we can click the shadow, but we will change the timing and we go in night. I will turn off the moonlight. In fact, if I update, it will be dark. And here we will use, we will go to find here the picture, because there is a picture outside. We can say one singular color. Anyway, I leave blue, I don't care. So I want to use a lamp. Okay, perfect. It said the program if I would like to turn on or off. I said no. I will go here, I will put a point light. Why we didn't turn it on the light? Because I would like to control the position of the light. The properties inside the light are the same, but in this way I can control the position, and you will understand why. Here you can decide the brightness. You have 10 is the maximum. The program starts with 1. I can say okay, 2 is enough, or a little bit less. Here this is not normal rendering software. You can simply select if you want to have soft or sharp shadows. I will say soft, so more soft than sharp, and you can have some effect. This is the reason I would like to control the position. So I decide that this f-test should be more powerful, like 1. When I decide the position, I can hide this this symbol of the light source here. Now we are ready to update the light, and we are ready to save this rendering. But before, there is another brush, reflection brush. I click, and you see it's in real time. The shadows are static, doesn't change, it are always there. But the reflection, it depends by the position of the observer. And here in the option I can say that this light should be 20%, so more or less as you like. Now I also put a picture in the background. I don't like this blue. Okay, background image. Can select I don't know if we have a better for the night. No, I don't see. I use this. This is more dark. Okay. It's too big. I don't see a difference. Anyway, I resave it, and now we will export this picture as an this view as a picture. We say save it. We change the oversampling. We have 16 times the oversampling. It means the software will recalculate the picture 16 times. We save it, and we will see the result. It will take, I don't know, 30-40 seconds. We just have one light, so it will be not very slow. But at the end, the result, it will be better than what we are watching in this moment. Okay, save it on the desktop. Go on my desktop. Where is this picture? It's here. You see, this is the 3D view, and this is our picture. In our picture, the detail are better. There is the anti-alias, the line are straight. The material are better. If we go back to the view, the material are a little bit not so clear. Anyway, we conclude, we go to the plan view. No, before I said I want to show you in 2D view that we can say show us the 3D view. We want to see it at colorway. We uncheck this box because it's a filter to have a lighter view. And now we can decide to delete some line here. Okay, and here we will say, so in this 2D view we can say to the program to show us this plan as a sketch. We say display as a sketch. We have full of lines. We can delete some line here. Here is too much because here there are the leaves as too many polygons. It's much better to delete all and to show just some. For example, here we say show us just some line. We must do better. Anyway, you see this line are too much rounded, so we go back to the feature in the settings and we will change this value in 8 centimeters, for example, and now it's better. Now we delete some line. You see, after some minute you will have a better result. Anyway, this software, it's not a software for making rendering, we can say, but it includes also these features. In fact, the program has also other features. Anyway, when we have finished, you go to the plan view, you decide the dimension of your paper. We say A0, and here we can inside include in the plan the view. For example, this is the construction. From the construction mode is the construction view. Here you decide the scale factor. I will decide the scale 100. I will put here. If I click the view that we include, we will see the properties. For example, there are the visible story. You can say all, the active. For example, this is the roof. The roof story. This is the ground. We can say all. Anyway, if you go to viewable layer, you can select which layer you want to show or hide, and so on. And there are also some features. For example, here in 2D view, you can say show me the 8 lines, the outside dimension. And you see the program has done automatically the dimension. Of course, in the program you have the possibility in construction mode, you have the tools here for make the dimensioning. But coming back to our plan, on the right side I would like to put the section that we have done. This is the section AA. I will decide to have a scale factor of 1 to 50 and I will put in this point. Then I can of course you see it's like windows, and this window you can with a double click this is the origin. In the double click you can move the context, because sometimes you put and you must adjust the outline but also the context, so you must do a double click. Here we can put another 2D view that we have done, that it's an isometry. We will do it in scale factor 100, I think it's enough. And here we will import our picture that we have done it. I click here, I move our iris size, I put here, and here we have the catalog where you can create your you can get and you can save the 2D element. This is the head of the plan, where you can here get already head of the plan. I will ungroup. If I click the text, you can type, I can say Daniele Pisa, and so on. This is you can change what you want. Anyway, you have seen CasCADos. I'm happy to show you. Now I want to show you a ready plan. I close this plan, I save it, and I open a ready plan that is in CasCADos. I would like to show you the ambient occlusion. It's a 3D effect automatic. We said many times that this software is not a rendering software. It's not specific for rendering. We are planning to do a specific rendering software. We are working on that. I can say more, but it will be better. It will be a specific, very competitive software. But this has only some feature to obtain yes, nice picture, but not like a picture, I mean, not like a photography, I mean. You see, this is made by the computer. Okay, this is a ready environment, and here you see the shadow near the connection between walls and the ceiling. The shadows are more darker. This is typical of the effect calculation ambient occlusion, and this is ready. It's in the software. There is nothing special in this plan. There are just 3 lamps. One is this, we can go outside to see it. One, the other is this, and there is this and this, not more. But the effect, the result is this. It's very simple. You can also change the material. For example, I decide to have this. You can also change it. The calculation, it will be always the same. You see? We wait, I think we have 3 lamps, so it will take 1 minute and some seconds, not more. and the program simply calculate this kind of shadow. You should not do nothing more. But if we back to our plane, I just want to show you something. I go back to the daylight. Okay, I turn on all layer again, all ground. I would like to show you one simple things. Before I didn't show you, we have a 3D Explorer, and here you can put also wings, not only the 3D bitmap that we have seen like the tree. We have also this feature. If we say put the wings, we go in this part of the software. We have a special catalog. For example, we can decide that we can put pieces of a tree. So I click. It's arrived. It's here. I can click the properties, and we can put on the top left. We can also change the position. You see, you can decide where to put. So we can go also in the properties, we can mirror, and we put here. Now we select another element, for example a small wall, we put as a foreground, because all elements that you see here can be put on the 3D scene everywhere. And before I click 2 times, I see. Anyway, you can put in the foreground or in the background or in the middle. In this way, it's like to have a layer of Photoshop. So you can have a picture inside your 3D view. In fact, you see, it doesn't move it. At the end, we come back. We recalculate the shadow because it was hidden, and then you can save your picture in a better quality. This is the point. The program is very big. There are also other features that we haven't seen, how to model, for example, 3D elements, but you see, this is a BIM software. It needs more time. I just show you last things. So I want to show you another tool like the extrusion element. First we draw a polygon. Okay, we simulate a frame shape. It's just an example. Suppose this is a shape for a frame. For example, I move here. Okay, this is the section. I will open our catalog of symbol. I will copy our symbol. I will call ABC symbol, and I delete it. And now I show you the tool extrusion. I will decide to do a polyline. We go to extrusion, we search in the catalog our new symbol. Here we will see it in the opposite side. I should rotate 180 degrees because the program, otherwise it will draw it in the opposite side. And then here you can have the fixed size and you change it, or the original size at the beginning and at the end of the beam. Now we draw a simple example like this, diagonal, like this. Okay, and we go back. Then I click ESC and we will see what we have done. We hide the ground. You see can change the material. This one can copy paste. You see, this is like a frame under the roof, for example. It's very simple. With this tool you can create many elements. For example, you see also indirectly in the catalog. It's here. We can go here. Extrusion. You have already extrusion beam profile, we can also call it frame, and so on. You can use it in many situations. Thank you for the attention. I show you some, not all features of CasCADos, but you learn more than before. Hello, this is the last video that I attached to the previews. I reopened the plan that we have done before, and I want to show you the fast features of CasCADos. This button is switch to construction plane. If you go in 2D view, you have the same button. You can click in 2D view a side of the wall, or you can do it also in 3D. For example, I click this button, click this button again, and when you click the wall, you will go to see the frontal view. Here I would like to show you simple features that you can draw. You can draw in a free way. And what we are doing, it's a slab. This is the thickness of our slab. If we click 3D, we will see it. So if we click again, we come back to this draw. I would like to show you that with this tool you can do many things. For example, I get a help line. I will say to put a help line at 50 centimeters. Put here. From here to here another parallel. From the floor at 50 centimeters we put this. Now we put one of 3 centimeters. Now one of 3 centimeters in this side. Also another in the internal side. From here to 50 centimeters another. From here another to 50 centimeters. And here 3 centimeters and 3 centimeters. And again another of 50 centimeters and 3 centimeters. I would like to show you that with help line and with these tools we can draw a simple furnitures. I say that it's 60 centimeters of the thickness. We use the rectangle. And I start from here to here, another from this point to this point, then you can do it another here. I've done a mistake, do it again. With the zoom is better working. Okay, another here. Another here. And another here. Then if we go to the 3D view, we have done the basic furnitures. In fact, if you do something more complex, you can obtain better result. I would like to show you again these tools. not this tool, this view, I mean. I delete this element, we don't need. Also the helpline, and these tools. This is extrusion. I would like to get a round circle. We can give a thickness, and you see, I made a mistake. I want to use a polyline. Okay, it's like a pipe. In fact, we can use this tool to do a piping outside, like the gutter for the roof. So I just want to show you that you can build in the construction plane, in the front side. And this can be done everywhere in the space. I show you create a new plan. If you go to the section, you can do section, multi-section, and you can have a free construction mode. So if I type, I draw a simple line, you can draw everywhere something. This is your line on the space, and you can draw this line everywhere. So in this way you are free to have a front side view for working and draw. This yellow view, it's the section, is the section plane. You can hide it from here. You can say hide construction plane. It's a 3D representation display for working. So you can click, double click, and you come back to work. This is the reason that you see it. Okay, thank you for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed CasCADos and you will try it soon. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.